Good morning, everybody. What's up to another edition of Brothers of Legacy? I am your man, A.D. Walker. To my left, right, is my brother, Terry Little. And
What's happening?
right below me is my brother, Pastor McCory. He talked about going from simp to pimp to simp.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
A whole gauntlet of issues, didn't he?
How to balance it out and
That's my
things
guy.
of that nature. But it never talks about really building a relationship. You know, he more or less talking about getting, but never building. You know, like I won't say never, but from what I've seen so far, it's
Yeah.
just more about getting than building, if that makes
Right.
sense. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I think that's my issue in a sense. Like I would love, some guys to kind of grab hold of some of it, but it's like, are we just getting? We just
Right.
trying to trying to build a list. So good morning, Mama McCory. I apologize for being late. It's that's your son.
Fault, just so you know.
That's your son's fault. That's your son's fault.
No.
Good morning, Lisa. Good morning. Oh man, Cole Johnson in the building. Good morning, sir. All my podcast people, thank you guys for rocking with us. And if you're on Facebook, listen, go to the Facebook page, share, invite, and let everybody know that Brothers of Legacy is here. We're discussing all things, everything from all the men issues, black, white, Hispanic. So a lot of black issues, but it reaches everywhere. It reaches everywhere. I appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us every day. So I just wanted to finish that conversation we started off camera because I was running behind.
That thing was stuck at AD's crawl. He had to get that out.
Yeah, I had to get out. I mean, it's interesting. Maybe I want to kind of maybe dig into it one day, but not like I don't want to talk about a specific person. I want to, and because I'm going to search for other people that are in the same vein as my man. Because I know there are. They just not. That YouTube said, "Oh, you're not really watching them right now, so you're gonna have to find them. You're gonna have to find them." Let's see. I've noticed also on YouTube, there's a lot of reaction video people. People watching like other videos and reacting to them. Like some started with the Kevin Samuels, some do.
Yeah.
They just watch videos and react. And give their opinion.
Good morning to you, ma'am.
It's so crazy. Good morning, V. Good morning, V. I remember one time people used to get mad. They were like, "This is whack. Like I do all this work to create the video, and the dude that reacts to it get more views."
Yeah, that's usually how. Yeah, you be bad about that.
Right. I'm saying we working hard to create this content. We on here an hour, and the dude that watches us take a snippet, put it on his thing 10 minutes, and get more views.
And can I give you a prime example of that?
Go ahead, brother.
I'm on TikTok, right?
Right.
And, I don't do I'm not that creative.
Right.
So basically, what I do on TikTok are duets.
Right.
So
Okay.
I duet one brother in particular named Jason Banks on TikTok.
Okay.
And I duet him, and I get now when I do a video,
Yeah.
I get 20 views. I duet Jason Banks.
Right.
One of my videos with Javante had 13,000 views.
Okay.
With a duet with Jason Banks. So I feel what you're saying. Like I do all this junk, and I create this video, and I can't get no views, man. I do a duet with Jason Banks. The Lord, man.
It takes time. It takes time. You got to connect. You got to connect to the high value TikTokers.
Hey, auntie in the building.
Yes, indeed. What's up, Atlas? Thank you for rocking with us. And just as a program, we come on here every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. until we get finished with our talking and our thoughts.
Yes.
Whenever you see us or whoever, my wife was here on was that Monday? We are still Brothers of Legacy. Know that even we change players, we change people sometimes. If I can't be here, I got people to stand in because Brothers of Legacy keeps going. Brothers of Legacy is a brand in itself. So just know that
trademark coming.
If you see exactly, as long as you see that logo right there at the corner, right by Terry's head, you know you're in the land of Brother of Legacy. What up? Good morning, Mark. Thank you guys for rocking with us.
Marky Mark. You know, I meant to tell you, I didn't really realize how much I like you and Mark look.
Oh,
And I was
Mark, you guys still without water? I'm sorry. Y'all, we need to pray for Texas, man. I'm serious. My brother, has not had water. He hasn't had running water in his house for 2 days.
wow.
It's crazy degrees in Texas. He's got children. I got a niece and a nephew that were without power. People are dying, right?
Yeah.
Carbon monoxide. People are trying to sleep in their cars, running the heat in their cars.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. So listen, we have got to keep Texas in our prayers. Mark, is your water running slow?
Okay.
I had to check on Peoples. Peoples in San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I called him yesterday. I was like, "Hey, man, last night rather." I was like, "Hey, you good?" He was like, "They just got their power back on." In San Antonio.
Yeah. They're going through. They're going through.
Yeah, they are really going through it. Something about the power grid or something or another.
Well, yeah, they did not winterize. They didn't winterize the pipe and all of that delivers water and power and all of that. They didn't insulate that stuff, and this has been a problem, I think, for a whole lot of years. I mean, better than 20 years.
Yeah.
And what happened is Texas wanted to be independent of everybody else,
Right.
Own power but they never improved anything technology wise.
Wow.
So a lot of things have failed in this recent storm, and so they're calling for leaders to step down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they've got a problem.
Wow.
Didn't they ask the governor to step down because he got on in a press conference?
The governor got on and tried to blame green energy. Right, renewable energy. He tried. This is why the new Green Deal won't work, dude. That has nothing to do with the problem.
Texas is gas.
Wow.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to digress, you guys.
You're good.
No.
Good. I mean,
no. This is probably a topic we need to talk about. There's a lot of people hurting.
They are hurting. They are hurting.
My friend Marcy, Marcy's in Dallas.
Wow.
And she, they had intermittent power. Shout out to Marcy. And Peoples. Who else I have? I got a friend named Denisha down there in Cyprus. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of, I'm checking my
Walmart that I shopped in was bone dry yesterday. Yeah. See, that's crazy.
Leave. Wow. Yeah. They made everybody.
One family took all the pictures off the wall. They had a wood burning fireplace. They took all the pictures off the wall, ripped the frames off and everything, took the wood from the frames, started burning that stuff. I mean, it just taking tables apart and throwing the wood on the fireplace, trying to keep the children warm. It's
Wow, it's crazy.
And what's amazing is there was a wealthy man being interviewed by one of the news stations, and he had candles and stuff burning behind him, and a big block flashlight, on bookshelves, burning, and he was like, we're in a bad state, but we're better than most because I can afford a generator.
Right.
And he said, but what about the people that don't have generators? There was one Latin American family where they didn't have power. One family have children that were diabetic, and insulin has to be refrigerated.
Right.
Wow.
They had to dispose of 20 boxes of insulin. I was like, why didn't you just put it outside?
Right.
I'm like, that part got me. And one man who was on oxygen, the power for his breathing, for his air. I mean, so many things. Man, I think about my son, God rest his soul.
Right.
My son was on a breathing machine here at home, and it had to be powered, so it was important to have a generator.
Right.
And you can't just have an oxygen tank. You have to have that treated air, because if it's just straight O2, people can get oxygen poisoning.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So think about things like that.
Right.
So it's crazy.
Wow. You see Cole's comment?
Hold on. The first one was, in doing that, it allowed the industry to not be responsible for setting up the proper protocols to make sure heat is taken care of.
Right.
It said the hospitals didn't even have water. What is crazy, El Paso is not part of the Texas grid, but they are just fine as opposed to the rest of the state. Wow.
Because the Texas grid is independent, and they don't have to live according to the standards of the rest of America, and that caused them to save money. So they never improved any technology. and now it's come back to bite them.
It's gonna, right. I saw a very interesting TikTok yesterday, and this was a young lady who was walking through her house, and
appreciate
the house
that
was flooded.
Right.
The house was flooded, and then they walked through to her living room, and the ice and snow had caved in her roof.
Wow.
So not only was the house flooded, but when you walked in the living room, her whole roof was just caved in from the ice and the snow. And she's on camera in hysterics, because she didn't know what she was going to do. And so it's just a sad state of affairs. And I try to call all my people down there and just make sure.
Yeah, I gotta check on. I got a high school buddy that lives down there now, and it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, he had posted a few days before he was in New York with their snow, and he went back to Texas and showed that leaving New York was the great thing because he'd have to deal with the snow and ice anymore. Yeah. And then this comes in, he's like, "What is going on?" So it's crazy.
I don't know.
It's crazy. He said, Cole said, and this has been a problem for decades. Big freezes, 89, 97, 08, did not do anything but say, "I'll pass, it won't be a problem." Oh, it'll pass, it won't be a problem. Now they have to do something about being negligent to the people of their state.
They have to be. Wow. They have to. Now it's time to do something. I was thinking about my friend, Coach Vet, Merv Vet. She caught a flight out of Texas before the storm hit, and she's up here in St. Louis by me. She's about 2 hours away from me, and got hit with 2 feet of snow in St. Louis.
Right. Yeah. In places that they get it all the time. Let's see. Said to believe in a conspiracy theory.
Auntie like is it population control? Wow. You just never know. But I would say that it was just bonehead mistakes, right? And it's just so coincidental because we don't control the weather.
Right. Yes, indeed.
We control how we react to it, but we don't control it. No.
Right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
They tried to call it a 100-year storm. Like, no, it's a winter storm. It's not a 100-year storm.
Right.
Hurricane Katrina was a 100-year storm.
Right. Yes, indeed.
Yes, she was.
All right. I forgot what I was going to talk about today.
The conspiracy theory. He's a great conspiracy. Don't you just bring it up? Yeah. The conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So let's kick it off. I didn't do the intro yet.
Sure
so
did.
Give us a chance to kind of reset, and we will be right back. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Good morning. What's up, everybody? All right. So you're right. The Great Conspiracy.
It is. We set them up.
It's right. Is there a great conspiracy? Oh, she segued that for me. All right. Yeah. This is they get it right sometimes. They're not in control. Right. Oh, so, do you think, like, I know we spoke about this in sections, and I always I get thoughts and I want to dig a little deeper, but like with the way the state of the country and the way things are going on, do you really feel like there's one power at B to keep things a certain way?
Like the Illuminati? Is that what you're saying?
Nah, not the Illuminati. And that, speaking of Illuminati, why does it always seem like, and I know I've said this before, why does it always seem like every black person that does well has had to sell his baby and sell his soul, and he can't just be financially successking without being part of the Illuminati? I always say black people because it always seems like, it's like, like we always seem to be, especially in entertainment or celebrity, like you just can't be great at what you do and not be an Illuminati. But
most people don't look at white people like that, because in our community, what have we been calling white people for generations?
Boss. or oh, what you mean?
What do you call them? What do people what did Malcolm X call them in the
I know.
beginning? White devils.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
right. Because I was
So
thinking
if you
cracker.
are the
I was thinking
devil,
cracker, but
yeah, how can it be Illuminati if you are the devil?
right.
Right.
And so
They're already right.
Okay, so
Right,
that's
Cole.
right.
Good job, Sam. Good job, Sam.
Samantha was right there. You know, shout out to Samantha. I mean, I'm not. That's not first and
I love
foremost.
it.
Brothers of Legacy is not calling white people devils.
Right.
I'm only
Yes.
referring back to
Not at all.
what has been said.
Say yes.
And so what we do in our community is we say those that have elevated to a certain level
Right.
have fallen for the okie doke, have sold their soul.
Right. True.
They Uncle
Right.
Tom.
That's true.
Or Coonan.
That's what we say.
You got a lot of-
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Blue eye
Yeah,
devil,
that-
like you said.
That does make sense. That does make sense. So do you think there's a let's see, hold on. Something Cole said. It said there's a group that controls the country and we don't see them. We assume it's the high ranking politician, but who supports them?
I mean, it sounds like we're talking about the men in black now. You know, so we know they're protecting the country or they're running the country behind the scenes, and we don't see them, and they're hiding in plain sight. I believe
What's up,
in
Cheryl?
some
Good morning.
conspiracies, but yeah, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I do believe in some stuff, but
I got you. So do you feel like we always and I know what's that movie? I can't remember the movie with was it not Soul Brother? I forgot what was it called. The man, you know,
like no. Agent K. I don't know, Mark.
No. It's a black kind of a modern black exploitation movie. I can't remember the daggone name. Oh, okay. Me and my brain. All right. So, do you feel like there is a great hand at keeping things a certain way? And like yesterday, I spoke about separation as far as us coming together, and there's always being
Undercover brother.
Cole. Thank you, Cole.
See,
Undercover
Cole,
brother.
man, Jesus, boy.
Undercover brother.
That boy is a plethora of knowledge. It's just amazing.
If he said, "Ever heard that since the Jeffersons?"
Heard
Yeah,
what?
you're right.
Heard what? So
Oh,
you're right.
this one here.
Oh, okay.
So
That's what he called Tom.
yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Never really understood. I always wonder where that word come from. But so yeah, undercover brother, like always calling the man. You know, the man's in charge. You know, the man's keeping me down. The man's keeping me from becoming. The man's doing this. You know,
Right.
do you feel like? Because I always wonder, right? There's always somebody maybe not wanting pastor to advance, right? They might have their eye on pastor, like, you about to mess up my stuff. You know, like even in the company he's in now, there may be somebody higher up, like, oh man, this dude McCory is moving a little fast. He about to change some stuff, or he about to do whatever.
Bro, let me tell you something. Okay. There's always a story, right?
Right.
But there's always God.
Yes, indeed.
I will tell you that my company has gone through all kinds of challenges and changes over the last 10 years. And, you know, we've had to watch some of our peers be let go. You know, I've been with my company 15 years. And I've gone through 5 bosses.
Wow.
In the time that I've been in my company.
Okay.
Right. And one of my bosses was the guy that one of my bosses was a peer of mine when I got hired at this company.
Okay.
Okay. Just to show you how quickly they can rise.
Right.
And how things can stay the same for people like me.
Wow.
He became my boss, but we were very close.
Right.
One of the first people I met when I came to the organization back in 2006.
Right.
And when he was let go of the company, he called me up and he said, "Hey, listen, man, I just got to be real with you. I need to make sure you watch your back. Watch your back. Because your name has come up. Your name has come up by one of the VPs while having drinks at a bar after work.
Oh, wow.
Right?
These jobs ain't loyal. That's right, Ephraim.
Yeah, and so he said, somebody was like, man, I don't know how McCrory has made it this far and been at the
Wow.
company this long. It doesn't make sense.
Right.
Why does he get special treatment?
No, he
Wow.
did not.
Right?
Wow.
Stop
Yes.
playing with me.
And I said, well, who's talking like that, and why are they choosing my name?
Right. Right.
It doesn't make any
Like, what
sense.
happened?
And he said, well, I don't want to tell you. I'm like, oh, you'll tell me somebody's talking, but you won't tell
Tell me
me
who.
who said it.
Who said?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
Who's watching?
That's the game they play, right?
Right.
And in my mind, I'm like, wow, that's deep. So I just went to prayer. I'm like, Lord, you know what? I leave it in your hands because it's always been in your hands.
Right.
And then it got back to me who said it.
Right. Wow.
And the very person who said it, I realized had been getting next to me, asking me what my plans were. Hey, you're gonna leave the company, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, right?
Woo.
And after talking to me,
Right.
we connected,
Wow.
right?
Yes.
And a few months later, he called me at like 7:30 in the morning and said, "Bro," I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "I just got let go."
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And so the point that I'm trying to make is
Right.
when it comes to conspiracy theory, this is the struggle that I have with conspiracy theories.
Okay. Okay.
I believe that there are people who have an agenda.
Yes.
I just believe
Yes.
Absolutely.
that. And it can be conspiratorial
Right.
when it's in your realm,
Right.
right?
Right.
But this notion, on a global scale, we always talk about the five families, the Rockefellers.
Yeah. It's not
We
different.
talk about the five families. Right. It's none of their businesses. You're absolutely right. Yes. Yes, McNair. Principality, spirit. Yes, absolutely.
Right.
And
Yes,
that's the
it's
way
real.
that I have always seen it.
King's kid.
Right.
Right.
But I also know that I was homeless
Right.
in 1991.
Right.
What they don't know about me is I'm never concerned about them
Right.
because I don't serve them. I serve God.
Right.
And God has my back. God has always covered me. No matter what, in my worst times, God always had me covered. So I hear stuff like that, and then I have to pray for the person who's saying it.
Right.
Right. Because you don't
Right.
know.
Because my boss who said it to me, this was several years ago, and he still isn't working today.
Wow.
You understand?
That's great.
And so my point is that when it comes to conspiracy
Set you
theories,
up. Like a straight movement.
this whole notion that there's a handful of people controlling the wealth of the world. I
Right.
believe that there are people in significant places that they're in positions of pivot. They can shift and make things happen. I do believe that.
Right.
But this notion that five families control everything in the world, like somehow they have some psychological desire to control the movement of me
Right.
in
Right.
Locust
Right.
Grove, Georgia.
Right.
Right?
Right.
No,
Right. Right.
it's hard for me to grasp that because I know who God is.
Yeah. I got you.
Right. And so
got you.
in my mind, the ripple effect does not hit me from the United Kingdom.
Okay.
I don't care how much you hate black people.
Right.
I don't care how much you hate people who are non-white.
Right.
I just there's no way that you're going to tell me that. That's why it's so important to understand that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
Right. Right.
Right? God is still in control. So anyway, I don't want to turn it into a Bible study, but that's
Yeah,
just one.
What's up, Mello? But
What I think what Pastor's talking about, and I loved this story when about people trying to get next to and the enemy. My mom always told me as a kid, you're trying to dig, you're trying to dig a ditch with somebody, you better dig two. And then, but in Pastor Brian's case, we're talking about what the Bible says about touch not my anointing.
right.
And I think that's what we are here with that. And I used to do that, years ago. I used to be like, my mouth was on everybody, and I paid for it because my mouth was on everybody.
Right.
And the Bible says, "Hey, touch not my shh." And as soon as I inputted a couple of those shh in my life,
Right.
things stop happening. You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's not my anointing. So Roman,
Gotcha. So Romy, so you feel like okay, so and that's my point, Pastor. Like like I said, there's people with an agenda locally, maybe corporately, but as far as like a whole system to keep you contained, I truly don't believe that they're really they're not that calculative.
They can't be.
Yeah.
They can't be.
Yeah.
You listen. Donald Trump had an agenda.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He really did have an agenda. He had a plan, and people have been talking about what he said for years.
Right.
And what's amazing to me is it's not that they're clever. It's just that they're so hard headed. They're stubborn. Right. They're stiff necked is what the Bible calls them.
Right.
Right. So it's not that they're clever ability. It's just that they're, the same way the Lord calls us to be steadfast, they're steadfast in their evil thinking.
Right.
Right. But the problem is they're so narrow minded in their thinking that they're short sighted.
Right. Right. Okay.
Right? And what we have to recognize is the short sightedness of their narrow minded thinking.
Right.
Right. This whole right wing agenda and all that stuff. There's nothing ingenious about that.
Nah.
There's nothing visionary about that. That's a day-to-day life. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and this person asked me about getting closer to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard a preacher say about 30 years ago. He said, "Anybody can be saved for an hour."
Wow. Right.
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 And he said, so I made a decision. He said, I can be saved for an hour.
Right.
And if I can be saved for an hour, I can be saved for 2 hours. If I can be saved for 2 hours, I can be saved for 6 hours.
Right.
If I can be saved for 6 hours, I can be saved for 12 hours. And if I can be saved for 12 hours, I can be saved for a day.
Right.
So all I'm focused on is being saved for the next hour.
Right.
You understand?
You're right.
And in the same way with evil.
Yeah.
Evil says, I can hate you for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I continue to hate you I can hate you for 2 hours.
Right.
I can make sure that I ignore everything that makes sense for an hour.
Right.
And they continue to ignore it and ignore it and ignore it until you recognize them as ignorant people.
Right.
Right. And so we have to recognize what we're up against. And it's not their clever ability to enact some spiritual warfare or some psychological warfare on us. No, the fact is, and I think McNair put it on here earlier, we wrestle not against flesh and blood,
right,
but against spiritual wickedness, right? In high places.
Right.
And the problem that a lot of too many people have is we're getting pulled into fleshly battles.
Yep.
And anytime you're in a fleshly battle, it's like the two people fighting on a corner. You drive by, you see them fighting on the corner, and all you see is two crazy people outside fighting on the corner. But you have no idea who started the fight. You don't know who's right or who's wrong because they both look crazy.
Right.
They both.
That's true. That's true.
Right.
Absolutely.
So yeah. So okay. So we've established that it's not a network of people trying to keep you from becoming great. It's pretty much a local agenda, possibly, that could be affecting your growth, and we have to, and like you said, we're mindful of how we react to what's, to the attacks that are happening, like, and understanding, who's our friend, who's a frenemy, and it's funny. Like when I started working at Costco years ago, the number one thing, I realized when anybody comes up to you and asks you how long you've been in the company, it's always a play on trying to get a better schedule because they're trying to do a survey of who's the senior person.
Yeah. Yeah.
So And I've always taught, people that come in, I was like, listen, don't, if someone comes up to you and asks you how long you've been here, know that it's not a friendly question.
Right.
It's a positioning question, because, if they're going to do anything, they know they can point to you. They're like, oh no, I got here before them. So,
Right.
so know where they are. Right. So don't be so free in sharing with that particular person, because at least at this point right now, they're not trying to be your friend. They're trying to gain information.
Crazy.
So it's
How long you been here?
Right.
Right. That's
Right.
Don't play them games.
Right. Oh, so
I always lie.
You're right.
I used to always lie.
But you know what though? Here's there's so much truth to that, man.
Yeah.
But there's no way that I can throw everybody into that pool, into that.
No.
Right.
I got you.
Some people, have
Maybe
a genuine interest,
right? And how long
you are in your life and where you
right.
come from.
You're right.
And they're willing to lend a hand.
Yeah.
Right.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No
Because I'm one of them, I'll ask people, hey, how long you been with the company when I see a new
right.
name?
Right.
I've been here 12 years. Wow, you've been here 12 years and our paths have never crossed. Tells you how big a company this is.
Right.
When they say I've only been here a year, I'm like, well, that old adage, I can talk about my daddy, but you can't.
Right.
I'm like, I say, congratulations, welcome to the company, and I'm sorry. For everything that you're getting ready to go through, I really apologize.
Sorry. I do apologize to you.
But I want to be here as a resource. I've been here a long time. If you need anything, give me a call, whatever the case might be. So because I don't like to me, I refuse to live a life where I have to be so guarded
Right.
that I limit my experience when I interact or engage with people.
Okay.
Because I'm always looking for an opportunity. I'm always looking for where God is in the next engagement, right?
Right.
I'm not trying to get over or win. Or I'm always looking for, where is God here? And even in some of the struggles, okay, Lord, what are you trying to show me? What are you trying to show me? Right.
I got you.
So I'm saying that those people do exist. They're out there.
Right.
There are people out there, and they come to meet you, and they have an agenda, right? But the one thing that I always want to encourage people is that doesn't bother me, because I have an agenda too. Right? You have an agenda. I have an agenda. But guess what? God has an agenda.
I dig you on that. So let me ask you this then, because you in several different kinds of environments, and we're gonna say that. I won't say side eye, and I get it, because sometimes you just want to be relaxed. You want to be able to have a conversation without being so guarded. But at the same time, we and like you said, and you agree, there are people out there, because it comes in every form. It could be a position in ministry, or I joined your church and the next day I'm a deacon, and did this Negro just get here? And not knowing, we've had history. We've been, they know who I am and see me. Yeah. Oh, you pointing to somebody else. You pointing to your people.
My God.
I got you. Giving instruction. That's good.
Yeah.
So how do you become? How are you comfortable but cautious? If that makes sense. How can you be comfortable but cautious?
I've learned, because you brought up church, I've learned that in any given ministry or church, that you're always going to have worshipers, but you're also going to have watchers.
Right.
Looky loos. Yeah.
Yeah. Always. They're going to miss the word, but they're going to catch your mismatched socks.
Right.
Yeah.
And I believe that is true in every organization.
Right.
You have the people who get paid to be at the water cooler.
Yeah.
Right.
Because they're not working. They're always running their mouths.
Right.
Part of every meeting, but never take notes.
Right.
You understand?
Hey.
I mean, you have those people they're in your social connections.
Right.
right? They at every party.
Right.
They don't drink. They don't dance. You know,
they don't
but
dance.
got all the scoop. Yeah. Yeah. It's Kermit the Frog with the
They know everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Be cordial,
Sam,
but keep it
Sam,
moving. Right.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, be cordial, but keep it moving.
Sam is not allowed to participate in this conversation.
Nope.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
This particular conversation. Samantha Walker has an agenda. She has a sermon. Preach, and we're gonna have to take up an offering. Listen, that's a light switch right there. Don't get it twisted. She was pulling you all faster than Georgia Power.
Don't do that to my baby. Don't do that to my baby.
Don't do that.
There you go. I'm grown.
Here's the thing. The reality is certain people's depth of discernment is sharper than others.
Yes, and hers is. You're right.
And sometimes it's a curse. Right?
Yeah.
When I see you come, nope, don't even bring it here.
Going over there.
Right.
I'm not even right. And so there is that. That's I love it. That's my sister. I love her for real. I love her to life. But she ain't playing with nobody.
Not at all. Soul out here.
Right. So I think the important thing is just, you can't control that.
Right.
But what you can control is how you respond or how you react to it.
Right.
Right. Because there's always going to be conspiracies. There's always going to be people with odd agendas and off agendas. Not everybody wants you to thrive. Not everybody wants you to make it. Right. In fact, some people, not only do they not want you to make it, some people want to try to ruin you. Saul tried to kill David.
Right.
Right. But the minute David was anointed, Saul he spent all of his time focused on trying to kill David. So much so he tried to use his own son and had no idea that his son loved David.
Wow.
Right?
Right.
But what I find amazing is how often David had an opportunity to kill Saul and didn't.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like the Bible calls it kicking against the pricks. Why are you killing yourself trying to you're gonna kill yourself trying to come against me? Touch not my anointed to do my prophet no harm.
Right.
And that's what people have to understand. The problem with conspiracy is typically it is a power, a superpower trying to oppress a minority. Right? And that's the problem because it goes against the principles of God. Oh, somebody got in.
Yeah. and I'm struggling to get these folk out. That's the problem. That I don't know what
it says they got to reconnect this.
I don't know why. I've done it hundreds of times. It's a conspiracy against us.
Just delete it.
It won't let me. Let's see. Now it will.
Delete.
Boom.
Okay.
All right. There. Oh man, this sucker is quick. All right. All right, guys. Just continue on.
Let's see. But I want to answer the question. Oh Jesus. To answer my question too. How do I stay comfortable and cautious? I've gotten to the point in my life because so much has happened in my life over the past 6 months that I've gotten to the point in my life where I have completely depended on God. That's it. I don't know anything outside of that.
Right.
Because I know me trying to do something is a complete mess. But I know that my trust is totally in Him. So I'm comfortable in that. I'm comfortable in. I know that I have no qualms. Everything that's happened is in God's hands. Like Pastor was to his time, to his point earlier.
Right.
I totally depend on Him.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where my comfortability comes in at. So I'm able to move in situations cautiously, because that's what my focus. And like in Dwayne's point, it's my focus. My focus is to take care of my family. My focus is to make sure that we go and we eat. My focus is to make sure that everything's taken care of. My baby boy can get all the services he needs. That's my focus. Anything outside of that, I can't work with. But I know that my faith and me and Melissa both, our faith is totally in God. That's it. So that's where I can roll comfortable in that. I know He's not gonna leave me, nor forsake me. He ain't gonna leave me out here at these wolves. I already know that. So that's my comfortability level right there.
And we all need to get to that space. I completely understand that, and I know that what I'm saying, what Terry is saying, for some people it's a stretch because they're just not there. They're not in that space. So what do I do now where I am?
Right.
The message is really consistent. Control what you can and not what you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a lion. But I want to speak to the people who
right.
who don't have a roar. There are people out here who don't have a roar.
Right.
They don't recognize their kingship, and sometimes you have to be reminded. Sometimes, it's people like us that have to be the mirror for the person who feels like a grasshopper. Right. And our objective, our responsibility is to describe them to themselves so that they can understand who they really are. You get a better idea, a better concept of who they really are so that they don't fall for that kind of stuff. And so to everybody, to the people that don't feel like you're a lion, like Dwayne said, to the people who don't feel like, you're at a place where you're totally dependent on God, control what you can and not what you can't. It's like that old prayer of serenity. Right. And so when you think of life like that, there's less stress in life when you don't let life stress you.
That's it.
Right.
That's it.
I was thinking about something that what Dwayne was saying. David was mission focused. It's knowing your reason and purpose for whatever space you're in. I'm at work to do this particular thing. Yep. I'm trying to move up. I'm trying to just do my thing, so I'm not sweating the small stuff.
Great book.
And like you said, and then you have conversation, and you have the conversation, and you don't try to get too caught up in what's their agenda, but you have the conversations with people. And quickly, I know in life I've always found out quickly who's for me and who's just against me. Some people ain't against you; they just like, I ain't interested in you. I ain't against you. I just don't care for you. I ain't trying to knock you down. I don't care what happens. I'm not saying I want you to die, but if you left, it's all good. So go ahead.
People are going to show you who they are.
Over time.
Tracy Morgan, I love what Tracy Morgan said, and I know we've all heard it. Tracy Morgan was being interviewed by some radio station, and he said, "Man, I've learned if I want to get to know who somebody is, just let them talk.
Yes.
Let them Don't ask no questions. Ask open-ended questions.
Right.
Yeah.
Give them room to explain themselves so you can understand their philosophical approach to things.
Yes.
People are going to reveal themselves eventually, just like Maya Angelou said in her famous poem. When people show you who they are, believe them. So it's going to happen. That's the reason why I don't get too much into, whether or not they have an agenda or whatever. You're gonna talk to yourself. I'm gonna give you just enough rope to hang yourself. And so after that, then I can cut you off for real.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
It's one thing to have it. It's one thing to have a thought about somebody or to be judgmental in your head, right? And then somebody opens their mouth and removes all doubt.
Right.
So just kind of let them talk.
Yeah.
Let them talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So when you find out someone you've been kind of casually speaking to has an agenda, that is not favorable to you. Let's put it that way. They have conversation because they want you to say something that they could run back to boss or run back to higher ups or leadership just to thwart whatever good you've been doing. How do you shift your relationship with them? Like
it's a wrap. They ain't shifting nothing.
Okay, so let's picture this. So you have a conversation with John, Joe, Bob, and they're black. So let's not not the white black thing. They're black. They just, hey, we cool, and having a conversation, and then you find out someone else say, hey, John is like really trying to get your spot, or John is really trying to keep you from becoming supervisor because we know you're next. Like you've been doing your thing. Everybody knows you next.
So how do I approach John?
And then John's like, "Yo, what up, T Money? In the building. Good morning. What up, son? You know, like you've been doing."
I walk.
How does it change?
I pray constantly, daily for. I say, God, just take some things, everything that's not like you, take it out of me. And He's working on that.
Right.
But the level of
He said, "Stop talking high and by."
bro. Right. I'm talking high and by. That's me. The level of petty I live on. That's exactly what I would do. Ain't no talking. Once I find out that you have broken our sanctity of our friendship or whatever we're doing,
Right.
I can't fool with you because now I can't trust you.
Wow.
And so once I can't trust you, it's a wrap. I can't do you anyway.
Okay. What about you, Pastor?
I'm afraid of him because he could see.
I find those episodes in my life comical.
Right.
You're hilarious.
Yeah, but because in a situation like that, I'm going to out cheer you.
Words. Okay. I never did that.
Right.
People, I know it.
When I know you, when I know you gaming,
Right.
I'm gonna play the game right with you.
Yeah.
You the man. I'm trying to be where you are, bro. I'm trying to look. When I grow up, you understand?
I know you did.
I'm gonna be like,
I'm gonna do that because I tell.
Kill
This is
him with
one of my
kindness.
favorite phrases. I tell this. Yes, right there, Ashley, right there. This is what, and my wife will tell you. This is what I say. I say, love the hell out of them.
Right.
Love
Love them so much that you drive the hell that's in them out.
I'll get through with my cutoff.
See, I told
Listen, I'm with you.
Better than Georgia Power when you ain't paid that bill. She will cut you off.
You own $5, they cutting you off.
But you know what though? But I kill them with kindness. To Ashley's point, I love the hell out of them. And the reason for that is, do you know that it's more painful to them when you treat them with kindness?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's confusing for them.
Huh?
Right.
It's confusing for them.
It's just painful.
Yeah.
Because it forces them to take a look at themselves. Now you have to intentionally force yourself to grind it out to be evil.
Yeah.
To be mean to somebody that's loving on you. Right?
That's good. Right.
Yeah, and so I get joy out of that. It's horrible to say, but I get joy out of knowing that you hate me, but I'm loving you.
Right.
Woo, man, that man.
You gotta see the level
and
of growth.
They turn around and walk away, and I'll be like,
love ya. The level of growth in that place.
I'll see you real soon.
Crazy.
Yeah. But see, to me, that's God's sense of humor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's God's sense of humor.
Powerful. Oh, let's see. Richard said, Terry so can you pray for them and ask Jesus to help you forgive them and help you trust them again?
That's
good.
That's a good question. Me now,
is
yes.
it worth my time? Right.
Yeah. The me now, yes, I would pray for them. It was like, hey, God, please take whatever is going on inside of them. But I still can't deal with them. You know what I'm saying? So I love them to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? I pray.
I'm good with kindness. I ain't going to be overly mean, but I'm not going to fake it either. Yeah.
Well, to me, it's not faking it. Right? Because to me, the Bible says he that is to have friends must first show himself friendly. I genuinely want to be your friend. If you don't want to be my friend, I'm not going to be mad at you. I can't hate you because you hate me. Right. But I understand what Sam is saying. Sam is saying, I don't want to waste, I agree with that. I'm not going to waste my time with someone where the conversation is going nowhere.
Right.
Or the relationship is going nowhere. I don't have time. That I don't have time for. But I think the quickest way to get you off me is to love on you. You can't handle it. You can't take it. So you're going to run away very fast. Right. Because they want to try to push your buttons. And when they can't push your buttons, they got to go find another toy to play with. Right. And so that's why I say I preach the message, stay off the weed. Right. Get out of that madness because it's only going to infect you. That's the reality.
Right.
It's like the mantra we're talking about how we deal with people that has just fake nice to Ashley's point and all that. This is the mantra that this is something that I picked up over the last since I moved from Idaho to Missouri. This is my thing in 2021. There's 2 places that I'm not going. You've heard me say this before, AD. I want to repeat it again on this camera. I don't know if I said it in the broadcast. There's 2 places that I'm not going into 2021. That's out of my way and back and forth. I'm not going to do it with anybody. You know what I'm saying?
And it's funny. I think I think I'm in between, like Sam and Pastor. So mine is, we come in, hey, what up, son? What up? And I'm like, yeah, what up? And then we start to regular, word for real,
yeah,
word, that word. I got you. How was your weekend? Zide.
All right,
you good? Yeah, man, I'm good. All is well. Everything's great. Everything's great. It's gravy.
Yeah.
So like I can't do the. I won't say I can't. Well, I won't really do the cutoff. But one, especially if I felt like you was my homeboy. For real, like I thought we was like at least work homeboys, because sometimes, let's keep it real. Some people I probably never hang out with you outside of work because either way we are, ideology, whatever it is. But in work, we have a common bond, like we cool, we get through the day together, He said that's the New York in you. I did. The one who always brown knows the one who brown knows the boys. Keita said that's me, right? Because it changed once the relationship changed. You just like. First, you go through. I can't believe this end is doing this. I can't. I thought we was cool. Yeah. We even prayed together over something at work. I can't. I'm just stuck. I'm just stuck right now. I'm just conflicted. And then they come in. You're like, this in here.
That's me too, V. That's me too, right now.
My facial.
That's good. That's good.
You know what I'm saying? So
every day we must be careful if the choices that we make for it can limit or expand our future options. Right. That includes picking our playgrounds, our playmates, and the environment we surround ourselves with.
Absolutely.
Right. You're right.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
You are only as strong as your infrastructure that can support you. Absolutely.
Right. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. So we appreciate you rocking with us today. It's another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. And we look forward to Freestyle Friday tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. But I'm going to come up with something. We ain't discussed a game, so I don't want to throw that on him, but we'll see. Yeah.
Love your enemies.
Yes, indeed.
Do kindness to them who
spitefully
use and abuse you.
Yes. That's a hard word, but it's the truth.
God's got a plan.
Yes, indeed.
God's got a plan. He will make your enemy your footstool.
That's right.
For real.
Sometimes I have to say, look. Mark, peace, brother.
Stay strong.
Yes, be safe.
Stay strong in your beliefs. And we're praying for
I have to say, I'm look too sometimes, Keita. I really do.
Yeah. Just our face.
Especially when we was cool though. Like especially at work, we were cool. I thought we was bonding and sharing, and then you go and take my little rants and raves and going back to the boss with him. Yes. Oh, listen, have a productive day, everyone. Always try to be nice, but never fail to be kind. Stay warm. Definitely. Would you break bread with your enemies? Yeah, I might. I mean, if I'm already eating lunch and they sit down with me,
I'm already eating.
I'm already that good.
And you might get the opportunity to watch them choke.
You know what?
Oh man. Oh man, I think that brought tears to my
He's a time God. Yes, he is. Won't he do it?
Oh, hey.
He may not be there when you want him, but he's always there.
That's how you end the show. Oh man! All right.
I'm just playing. Look, I'm playing, but I'm serious. All right, time to go.
Yeah, gotta go.
God bless you. Good night.
Good night. We'll see you in the morning in the AM Freestyle Friday. Oh, yeah, and I got some stuff we'll talk about tomorrow. All right, guys, take care. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another episode. Good morning.